நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय. मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय. असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. नमो हरिहन्तानं नमो सेदानं नमो आयर्यानं नमो वजायानं नमो लोये सवसाहुनं एसो पञ्चनमोकारो सर्वपापपनाशनो मङ्गलानं चे सर्वेसिं परमं हवै मङ्गलम् परमं हवै मङ्गलम्.
Good evening to one and all joined in this day FDP program on quality and cost excellence in pharma. Now I welcome Mr. Panduranga Rao, the first speaker of today's session. Mr. K. Panduranga Rao is Vice Chairman of SIRC and the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. He is a commerce graduate and the fellow member of CME. He has worked in the Liners India, Vijayawada, and joined considerable experience in dealing with the cost auditors and in all government agencies. He was associated with the Vijayawada chapter from 1997 to 2019 and has carried out number of career counseling programs to the students in many educational institutions in and around Vijayawada. I welcome you, sir, to deliver the keynote address.
Yeah. This is CMA K. Panduranga Rao, Vice Chairman of Southern India Regional Council of the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India, Cost and Management Accountants of India. Warm greetings from ICMAI. Being the Vice Chairman of SIRC of ICMAI, I am happy to connect with you on 5 days Industry Connect and Knowledge Enrichment Program from 1st December 2023 to 5th December 2023, jointly organized by members in Industry Committee of the Institute, Shri Shankarlal Sundarbai, Shasun Jain College for Women, Shasun Alliance for Industry and Laghu Udyog Bharati. It is a collaborative effort to discuss the powering progress in pharma sector with respect to operational excellence, cost management and quality excellence and best practices of the industry to facilitate academic, industry, MSME association to transition and progress further in pharmaceuticals. I'm sure that the program would be a great platform to discuss, deliberate the industry practices, and would elevate the MSMEs in pharma and allied domains to a better and effective performance. A commitment to quality excellence is essential for pharmaceutical manufacturers to ensure patient safety and satisfaction, which results in business success. By sustaining a patient and quality focused environment, we assure that patients are well served by the generic and biosimilar pharmaceutical industry. Improving patient access to affordable, high quality medicines is a core value of companies that develop and manufacture generic and biosimilar medicines. Quality management is a critical aspect of the pharmaceutical industry. It ensures that all medicines meant for human consumption are safe, effective, and reliable. The pharmaceutical industry is highly regulated, and quality management is critical in meeting regularity requirements. With the pharma industry expanding scale and complexity, quality has emerged as a major focus area. India has emerged as one of the major suppliers of affordable, life-saving drugs and vaccines to the world on the back of its distinctive capabilities in product development, manufacturing, and process innovation. The rapid growth of Indian pharma industry has made operations significantly larger and more distributed across geographies, product portfolios much more complex, and supply chains denser, with the industry now involving more stakeholders. So, how can companies evolve and upgrade their quality management system to address increasing scale and complexity? How can they ensure that their systems build in the latest regulatory guidelines and evolving current good manufacturing practices? Every company needs a customized approach informed by its overall quality aspiration and legacy system. McKinsey has found four things to be critical and relevant across organizations: a structured diagnosis to pinpoint gaps, a risk-based prioritization of initiatives to address these gaps, a detailed change management approach, including a plan to transition to a new QMS, and a strong continuous improvement engine. This session today would be a great platform to ponder on the above points for discussion. I would like to place on record my deepest sense of gratitude to college authorities, Srimati Usha Sri Mal Jain, Dr. Arish L. Mehta, Dr. S. Padmavati, leaders of our institute, CMA Ashwin Kumar G. Dalwadi, President, CMA TCA Srinivas Prasad, Chairman, members in Industry Committee and IT Committee, torchbearers of Laghu, Udyog, Bharati, Shri Hariharan Ramamurthy, Shri M. Shivakumar and team, and Shri VP Ganesh Babu and team, CMA Rakesh Shankar, Ravi Shankar for their contribution, and Ravikumar sir, and support for the meticulous scheduling of the program. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Pandu Rao. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your valuable words, sir. I welcome Mr. CMA TCA Srinivasa Prasad, sir. Sir, we would like to hear a few words from you.
Madam, what we will do, no, I would like to come in at the end of the program. I am also very much eager to get more benefit and educated by Mr. Ravikumar.
Sure.
So a special thanks to all of you and Rakesh for this program. And President sends his wishes to all of you.
Thank you, sir. I welcome Mr. Shri Ravikumar, our third speaker for the technical address. Sir has undergone training programs such as Advanced Analytical Instruments, a 6M, Six Sigma Black Belt at Motorola, Head Auditor, ISO 9002 from British Standards Institute. He has availed memberships from Indian Pharmaceutical Association and Statistical Quality Control. He has overall 31 years of experience from various reputed firms such as Tamil Nadu, Dada Pharmaceuticals, Manali Petrochemicals, JK Pharmaceuticals Limited, Spic Pharma Limited, Alchemers, ICM, SM Private Limited, and Kawman Pharma, KP Kanish Global Industry Private Limited. His area of specialization includes pharma manufacturing, pharma quality control, R&D, pilot plant, quality assurance. He has also handled health authorities, GMP complaints, inspections. He has been on inspections to US FDA, ANVASA, Brazil, COFERIS, Mexico, and German Health Authority. I invite you, sir, to this technical session. Your experience and expertise will kindle the intellectual curiosity of the participant.
Sir, you are muted, sir. Unmute yourself, sir.
Thank you, all the members.
Rakesh, you can
So-
go to slideshow.
Can I start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, first of all, my sincere gratitude to all the members who have given the opportunity to express my experience for the benefit of the society. So I have 4 decades of experience on the quality control, quality assurance, R&D, regulatory. Now, the topic given is quality cost excellence. Of course, quality excellence, then followed with the cost excellence. So I have prepared the presentations in that angle. So let us start with the quality. What is quality? Okay, yes. Can you guess? I'll give 2 minutes or 60 seconds. I request all the members to guess your answers so that we can see what are the definitions available for quality. Okay, let us see now the available definitions for quality. Is it meeting the specifications alone, meets the requirements alone, or getting the satisfaction alone, or meeting the stated needs alone, or the implied needs alone, or all the above? Next. Before going into the actual definition, let us see the quality gurus, how they have defined the meaning of the quality. I need to explain or give some inputs on these authors who are all gurus in quality after the post World War II to make the industries a profitable one. Deming, Juran, Crosby, Ishikawa, and Feigenbaum. So the explanations provided by them is simple. I have given very simple. Deming says meeting the customer needs, but definitely all the members aware that he is father of SPC, Total Quality Management, and finally the PDCA cycle, Plan, Do, Check, Act. How to make the industry viable, how the industry can make a profitable one. See, industry means a process. Investors invest money, get the processes, make the products, return money with profit. So it is a process. So unless otherwise we have a quality, we cannot, the process, industrial process will not be a successful one. So these grooves addresses or eliminates the principles, processes involved in these. For example, Zoran says fitness for use. Crosby says conformance to requirement. Ishikawa says continuous improvement. Feigenbaum says customer satisfaction. Next. But finally, in totality, the ISO defines the correct definition of a quality, which defines the totality of features and characteristics of a product or a service that bear on its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. Very, very important point here is the product from a pharma industry or any other industry should meet the stated needs as well as the implied needs. I think I can throw some light on these stated and implied needs. For example, when we go and buy a paracetamol tablet when we have headache at the OTC counter in a pharmacy, what we do? We get a paracetamol. We check the label. Yes, paracetamol 650 milligrams. So we consume. The tablet should work. It remove your headache within 4 hours or 6 hours. If does not remove the headache, then definitely we are not satisfied with the product first, and the product does not meet the implied needs. When you analyze the tablet in a quality control laboratory on suspicions, if you found the product may contain 650 milligrams of paracetamol, so it meets the stated needs, but it does not meet the implied needs. So when you say the product quality, it should meet the stated and implied needs. So this definition has been accepted by overall, the universally it has been accepted. Next slide. Now, our focus is on pharma industries. So let us take a look at how the Act defines the quality. Of course, there is no direct explanations on what is quality, but we could infer from the drug acts that the product which manufactures should meet the identity, strength and purity as specified in the respective monographs, pharmacopoeial monographs. In India, if the paracetamol is available in the Indian pharmacopoeia, yes, the material should meet these specifications laid out in the pharmacopoeia. If you want to export, then it should meet either USP or BP. USP means United States Pharmacopoeia, BP means British Pharmacopoeia. Okay, what happens if it's not meeting the identity, strength and purity? In our country, we have the law, we have the system that every drug inspecting authorities will collect the samples either in the manufacturing industry or in the pharmacies. They will send the samples for analysis. If it does not meet the specified monograph, then there will be a intimation in the web. Yes, it is a NSQ. What is NSQ? Non-standard quality. Subsequently, it will be, our product in the market will be called as a misbranded drug or a adulterated drug. If it does not meet, if it meets, there is no issue. We can go along with our business. Next. I take this opportunity to define what the food quality means also, because in our country, food regulations are regulated by FSSAI. So in which different categories are there. Maybe next slide, you can go to that. So food quality refers to the features and characteristics of a food product that is acceptable to consumers and meet their expectations, safe to consume at permitted level, value for the money, conforms to the required specifications. They have their own standards. FSSAI released for each product, they release the standards. When the food authority is tested, you should meet the specifications. And moreover, if we manufacture nutraceuticals, because multiple categories are there in the food, health supplements, nutraceuticals, FSDU, and FSMP. Next slide. So in the Nutra, in the market, lot of tablets, capsules, premix, powders, syrups, tonics are available. So then what is the difference between Pharma and Nutra? Pharma, any item which cures or mitigates the disease, then it is a pharmaceutical, it is coming under the Pharma regulations. Any item which supplements or complements to the Pharma, then it is coming under the nutraceuticals. Certain categories come both. For example, vitamins, amino acids, they come both as well as both in the Pharma as well as in the Nutra. That is why I mentioned here, I have incorporated here the FSSAI definitions also. FSDU means food for special dietary purpose, and FSMP means food for special medical purposes. Out of which item 3 can be a OTC product, item 4 can be obtained only by the prescription of a registered medical practitioner. Next slide. So let us check what is a Pharma. So it is an industrial sector, belongs to pharmaceutical industries. Then drug substance. What is drug substances? First output from a chemical or a drug intermediates or drug substances, it will be the actives. That is, it has the potency to cure the disease. And it will be further processed or formulated. The question may ask from the participants, can I consume drug substance directly? No, because it is a 99.99% potent or 98 to 102% potent active ingredient. That is not good for the health. Anything over the dose, everyone knows that it is become a poison. It will not cure the disease. It will lead to something else, complications. So the drug substances will be formulated and converted into a drug product, either as is or with the addition of pharmaceutical ingredients or excipients. So when the drug substance converted into a drug products, then it is available for the human consumptions at various dosages, various strengths. All the dosages and strengths have been validated, verified for the toxicity levels and all the other scientific data, how a human being can consume, how it will act on the disease. Next. Some more explanation, maybe the drug substance, because in general, if you take a pharma industry or if you go to the regulated market, okay, let me give some examples. What is regulated market? What is a non-regulated market? What is the rest of the world? So regulated market means before India, US, Japan, Europe, these countries have their regulatory controls. Any drug want to enter into their country, the supplying company or the country or the company needs to be registered with their regulatory authorities. In the manufacturing CMCs, if it is for the drug substances, and abbreviated new drug applications for the finished formulation, that is for the drug products, needs to be submitted to the agency or the particular country's regulatory authorities. The panel will review, ask a lot of questions. We need to answer scientifically to justify the queries. Then only they approve as to supply commercially either the drug substance or the drug product. So that is the reason I here written down the drug substances, drug products. Drug substances, drug products in general, globally, these terms are being used. They will not use tablet capsules. In an industry, if you go to the pharmacy, yes, the language is different. Tablet, capsule, powder, liquid, injections, ointments. That is the terminology used at the pharmacy level. Since we are discussing about the industry, so I prefer or I explain to the members that the drug substances and drug products are the general descriptions used for the products manufactured from the industries. So drug substances are therapeutically active molecules which will be further formulated. Drug products are formulated or processed with the drug substances with different dosage forms, with or without the additional ingredients excipients. Examples: once the drug substance converted into drug product, the name will be changed as tablets, capsules, powder, liquid orals, ointments, injectables. Why these different types of names? They have different applications. For example, tablets, capsules, liquid orals, we say it is a oral solid dosage, that is, it will be consumed by oral. Everyone aware that when we consume oral, how it will get along with our digestive systems. The drug will get absorbed in our intestinal systems, and it will attack all the, or it will get benefited in all the parts of the body. So wherever we have the infections, the drugs will react and kill the microorganisms. Then rest of the things will be excreted. So that is the reason the name of drug substance converted into drug product is called tablet, capsules, powder, liquid orals. Injectables means it is directly injected to the veins for the faster relief. I hope everyone aware that when something injected into our vein, where it will goes, how it will react, how the body will function. It's more or less a bio. So I will stop here itself. That is, it is a red category that in the impact or effectiveness will be immediately visible when you do injections. That is why the physicians will prefer injections after the surgeries for the faster curing. Move on to the next one. Pharma industry here can exist as a single entity or as a combination of more than one of the industries. That is what I mean here is, if you say pharma industry, an independent drug substance manufacturing unit alone can be there, or independent drug substances, drug products manufacturing industries can alone be there, or I can have the upstream drug substances manufacturing, downstream drug product industry, so that I can sell both drug substances as well as the drug products, or I can sell drug substances alone, or certain drug substances I will use for captive consumptions for manufacture of drug products. In generally, when you invent new drugs, most of the industries, to reach the cost excellence of the particular projects, they convert into a drug product and they will distribute to the patients. So now we understand the importance of a drug product and its quality. Definitely, if the quality of our product is successful, then only our product will stay long term or up to its life cycles. Okay, life cycle is a different topic. I simply say that life cycle is nothing but stability, the life of the drug which can survive at the prescribed conditions, at the prescribed storage conditions. These are the activities being done at the quality control laboratory of an organization, pharma organization, there which we need to spend cost for that. That is explained in the subsequent slides. So here I insist that quality is the prime factor for a drug product to survive in the industry. Ultimately, the product survives, the industry survives. In the industry survives, the investor survives. both are complementary. Next. Now let us see the contributing factors. Of course, the participants, most of you are from cost accountants. So let me not touch too much on the definitions of cost, where it has come from, how it has been defined, at what is the scenario it has to be defined, what is a suitable definition at a particular scenario. So let me touch lightly that the money goes out. I can say the money goes out from a management, or money goes out from a factory. Is I say it is a cost. Anything. So the amount of expenditure, actual or notional, incurred on or attributable to a specified product or a service. Not a process, it's a product or a service. Or the cost is a foregoing, measured in monetary terms, incurred or potentially to be incurred to achieve a specific product or a service. I think hope everyone can accept this simple definition on the cost. Next slide. Now the contributing factors, cost contributing factors for a pharma manufacturing. So unless otherwise we understand the elements of pharma industry, we could not able to decide the cost, investment cost. I am technical, you are all are cost accountants. So investor has come and approached us. So now we sit together and we need to give the project. The investors are interested in multiplying their money. The cost accountant is interested in controlling, stabilizing, balancing the invested money such a way that the returns are taken at the earliest or at the appropriate time. As a technical person, I need to justify where, how much, how, why, what is the physical significance, why I should invest so much percentage on the raw metal, why should I investment on the facility, why should I invest on the project. These details I need to explain to the cost accountants, then only they can able to understand, then only they can able to reflect to the investors. Ultimately, at the end of the day, or end of the year, or end of 2 years, 3 years, we need to face the investors in total, either as a managing committee member or as a or on behalf of the company as a CEO or a managing director. I need to provide my P&L accounts. So this concept, this is end result, but it has to be there in my mind before selecting the project. So this slides explains my planning. That is the factors which contributes in a pharma manufacturing project. Yes. Then land and site, where I have to locate my facility, where I have to select the site, the geographical locations, whether it will survive long in that particular locations. I do not have any issues to the surrounding. Issues means a lot of issues are there, political, surrounding, geographical movements. Then I have to be careful on the technology and the process. So technology here I say both are different, but I have merged this as a single. So I should be very careful on selecting the technology as well as a process. Then equipments, utility, manufacturing equipments runs with the utility equipments. These are also equipments. And then legal and regulatory compliances, labor, raw materials. Very important. Next point, testing equipments and its ancillaries. Then others, which contributes to the costing. Now let us see each one of the contributing factors, how it contributes for the cost, how we need to select a project. So how to achieve a quality excellence. So thereby automatically the cost excellence will also be achieved. Next slide. Project. Very simple. If you want to go to market to buy anything, start from the home. We should have the specifications, what I am going to buy. Today I am going to buy a kg of Himalayan apple. It should be red, it should be sweet, it should be crisp. So this is called the URS, user requirement specifications. Like this, a project should contain the user requirement specifications. The user requirement specification should have clear and realistic vision, objectives and requirements, target markets and end users, regulatory and environmental challenges and compliances, timeline and target dates for the project to start with, to commission with, measurement of success and quality. Among the above activities, definitely we need to follow the sequences. We should not change the plan in between. We should avoid a rework because it will escalate the cost of the project. Then definitely our recovery time will be more. The cost, as a technical person, I change or recommend reworks, then automatically the projections, calculations made by cost accountant also will be getting disturbed because the ROI or the period will also be get extended. Then and the subsequent impacts will be there with the investors. If it is a family-owned investors, yes, they can agree. If it is a public investors, yes, we need to answer for their monies. Next. So land and site. This is also a very important contributing factor for a cost. Areas where more labor availability so that our cost will be cheaper. Areas where geographical advantages, which complements the productivity. For example, I am putting a fermentation plant to manufacture a penicillin G. Where should I put? Whether I need to select a location at Chennai or I need to put a location at Badi. The conditions varies, the temperature varies because the process requires low temperature, 25 degrees. Yes, Chennai also I can provide lot of temperature using the utility equipments, but the cost on the product goes up. So choosing the land or site, the project should be very, very careful, ensuring the end result. Next one, area where we receive raw materials are easier. Areas where finished products can be distributed. Areas where government promotes the industries. Areas where already industrial belt is available. These are some of the clues we can select our project so that we can excel our cost efficiency. Now we are going to the next slide on the process. Really, process is scientifically defined as converting input into output. The activity happening is called a process. So either with a single activity or with the multiple activities, either with a single person or with a single method or a single material or single equipment, or with multiple peoples, multiple methods, multiple materials, multiple equipments with a defined time period. So process is a converting input into output. Processes have suppliers, output have the output. Process is managed by the industries, pharma industries. Output is related to the customers. Next slide. So in an industry, I covered here not as a department because it is a processes, individual processes. Because if you deeply see every process, HR and admin process, it is having one input, do some processing, it will give some output. Procurement, it is having some inputs, do some processing, deliver some output. Manufacturing, it is having some inputs, do some processing, give output. Inspection and testing, have some inputs, do the processing and provide the outputs. Safety, health and environment, have some inputs, do some processing, give the output. Marketing, finance also having inputs, processing, outputs. I need not to explain much on this. The given input money has to be multiplied. Do whatever the process you want. That is a process you cost accountant will do. How to increase, how to reduce, how to optimize, increase the yield, increase the productivity. So these things will happen along with the finance team. So, but in inputs, outputs are varies for all the above activities. Ultimately, the processing also varies. So these are collectively called internal customers. Whereas the product output comes, then the output will go to the external customer. So we are very much concerned on the external customer. The cost of quality is very, very important when our output reaches the customer. So as a nutshell, I say it's a group of activities. It's not a random or ad hoc, but are related and organized. They are work together to achieve the common goal in which the results are accepted by the internal and external customers. Next slide. So these all the internal customers can be further grouped into three categories. One is a management process, another is a business process, third one is a support process. Customer management process, need not to explain much on this. This is a planning. This is a conversion of nothing but money into a profit, or investing money, getting the invested money in terms of getting the returns in terms of profits. Then business is the converting the input into the output, giving to the customers to meet the customer requirements without any returns, without any rejections. Support is a very, very crucial, very, very vital. Unless otherwise these support functions are perform well, then there will be a problem with the business process. Then automatically business process goes down, then also management process also will go down. So these three processes to work well together to achieve the cost excellence. Next slide. Process management. Process. What is a management process? It will provide us a directions and governance for the organizations, mostly senior leaders, to set organizational goals. Of course, now I have to remove that to the senior leaders, because now a lot of youngsters are coming with a lot of potentials to run the management, to convert to get the maximum benefits, or I can say excel in the invested cost. And develop and deploy strategy to attain goals, establish and manage organizational designs and manage performance goals. Management processes shape and manages the business on long-term basis. Very, very important word, on manages on the long-term basis. Next slide. Business process. What is business process? Reflect competencies of the organizations and our mission and are very critical. They tend to value creating activities of the organization and are the processes that are seen and experienced by external customers. There is a direct feedback comes from the customers, from the market. So the business process is very, 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 very important. This will be the cage for us measure whether our process is running in the right direction or the process needs corrections. So these things, now I have a link. These things now, the earlier slide I have given the quality grooves, have given a lot of theories. So these theories will be useful for getting rectify our feedback, if anything, from the external customers. This group of processes represents the core competencies of the organizations. This is where performance improvement work have been focused. There is always scope for improvement. Anything else, there is no limitation. Sky is the limit. This is the general terminology we'll use in industries, either for the manufacturing or for the quality or for the regulatory. Next slide. Support process, very simple. Support process sustains the organization. Support needs business organizations are similar. Support process tend to be fairly standard. Support process requires candidates for outsourcing. The customers of support processes are internal customers within the organization mostly. Next slide. Technology. Of course, when we have technology only, we can make process. In this, hereafter, I process means my process definition will morely focus on the manufacturing process, because we need to convert raw material into a finished product, either drug substances or a drug product, or a chemical into a drug intermediate, and then drug intermediate into a drug substance. So technology, without a technology, definitely we cannot go further. Any project, definitely the question will ask by the customer, what is the technology, where the technology has come from. So whether we have our own technology, whether we have bought the technology outside, whether we have copied the technology from somewhere else. I put in red the copied technology means it should not be mislead or misunderstood, because the technologies which is available in the domains are all called copied technologies. But can we implement copied technology directly? No. It has to be converted into our own technology by our own R&D. Then only we can excel on the product quality as well as the cost, invested cost. Then bought out technology is also good, but we have a lot of restrictions. The cost of the products will be higher. So generally, technology purchase nowadays are coming down, since because the technology owners decide the location and they are putting their plant at the desired locations to increase the efficiency of their cost. So now the bought out technology term is slightly diminishing. 1980s and all, if you see, we procure the procurements from German, we procure the technology from Italy, we procure the technology from China, we procure the technology from islands. Now, no such. Even the fermentation industry, the construction spot procured, transferred, bought from one country, and the cultures are bought from other countries. This is based on our internal analysis. So my recommendation here is, let us have our own technology. Let us go with our own R&D. That means it involves a cost, but definitely we can excel. There is a scope for improvement. There is a scope for quality excellence as well as the cost excellence, because the baby born is ours. The baby born is my family. So as an industry, we should own our own technologies. Even if we copy technologies, we need to be developed appropriately to control the cost, to get the excellence. Next slide. Manufacturing equipments. Of course, I have not detailed in too much here. I just given, maybe at the end of the sessions we discuss in details if you have questions. Definitely each and every process requires different equipments, process equipments. So it varies depending upon the selection of the project. So that's why I simply add selections. In general, the equipments needed for an API or bulk drug or bulk substance is reactors, centrifuges, separating equipments, filtration equipments, dryers, then packing area, packing, weighing, then the area control equipments, HVAC systems. So reactors also, we have different grades: MS reactors, GLR reactors, then SS reactors. Depending upon the steps of the stage of the product, we need to use the type of the reactors. For initial stages, early stages, when the chemical conversions, we can use MS reactors. When it is acid reactive product, then we have to use MS glass line reactors. Then for the final products, when nearing the final products, then we need to SS reactors, so there will not be any metal contaminants. So the selection of the manufacturing equipments depends on the process. So selections, then its operability, then its maintenance, then past history, then its regulatory compliances. Very, very important. Now I'm inserting here the new word regulatory compliances, because so far I have not discussed about in the project whether the project is going to be for in-house or in the project is going for the product will be sold for the export. Export means regulatory country or rest of the world or for domestic. So when you go for the regulatory compliances, we need to have selections on the equipments as Rao sir told initially that CGMP compliances. Each country having their GMP compliances. It is practically auditable at the facility. So the selection criteria needs or calls for a brainstorming, or the cost accountants should call for the technical persons with the investors planning how we are going, what is the end product is going to be used. Accordingly, the selection needs to be done. The cost needs to be invested. Next slide. Manufacturing equipments, quality should be built in. Actually, why then quality control laboratory is there? As a quality person, I say product should not be tested for conformance. Product quality should be built in. That is, while manufacturing itself, we need to build the quality into the products, especially pharma, very, very critical. Because once we do build the quality along with the process, then our excellence on the invested cost will be very, 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 very high. If we reduce the investment cost, then if we take a chance to avoid build the quality into the process, then it will end up at reprocessing, rework. Thereby we lose time, we lose that excellence word. We have to give away the excellence word on the invested costs. We have to give away the word excellence on the quality. In the regulatory environment, when you do a product fails, definitely no one will bear with us. Even as a quality person won't accept for the work which involves documentation, investigations, calling everybody. We will maybe the profit anticipated from the particular product, we lose at least 2-3 batches quality along with this. So we need to build quality along with the process. Next. Utilities. Yes, for operation of the equipments, manufacturing equipments, we need to have utilities. Utilities is a generic term I have mentioned here. The persons who comes from the industry aware that utilities covers a lot of support equipments. For example, air compressors, chillers, nitrogen generators, then related equipments, HVAC systems, vacuum pumps, lot of other equipments, because unless otherwise the process cannot be achieved, because process runs with certain controls, temperature control, humidity control, vacuum control, so that we need to have all these utilities. So the design of the equipment is directly related with the utility support of the equipments. This is both having the interlink. So we need to identify the utilities appropriately. Let us not overdo here also. If we are going for only one project, a long-term project, we should select the required equipments. No, after 5 years, definitely there will be a change in the product mix. We might go for change in the product. So at that time, if required, we can add on the other utility equipments. So identification of the equipments is very, very critical. Then procurement, installations, these all are involved costs. Then maintenance, then past history, then regulatory compliance. All these equipments are also subject to the regulatory compliances, especially when the nitrogens, the product, the ancillaries or the utilities which is having direct contact with the product during the manufacturing will be subject to inspections, auditing. So regulatory compliance for the utility equipments also very, very essential. Next slide. Legal and regulatory compliances. I don't know how of our members can agree with me how this slide has been brought into this cast. Yes, legal and regulatory licensing purposes. Nowadays everything become online portal. All licenses needs to be applied from the factory. All fees needs to be paid through electronic media. Only the for inspection purposes, inspector will come and do the inspections, give his queries, and then we'll rectify, and then we'll get our licenses, we'll get our permits. To achieve these, the compliances, legal and regulatory compliances, we need to spend money directly and indirectly. Directly mean to ensure the compliances. Next, labor cost. Labor, yes, Very, very difficult in Indian scenario. The pharma industry can be 100% converted into automation. My experience with the more than 100 industries globally, fully they are automated. But in India, it is very difficult to see 100% automated industries in pharma. Definitely, the stage will change at one point of time. Full automation will go. When automation will come, when the productivity will be higher, the batch size will be higher. Then automatically, if productivity and the batch sizes are higher, then the project will exceed the excellent cost excellence. So in the current scenario, labors also involves cost. It varies. The labors are having its own bandwidth depending upon the level, knowledge, technicality, and finally the end results. For driving the process, for driving the product, for driving the project, the labors are very, very important. I generally say as a labor, I cover top to bottom. Next slide. Sir, previous slide, please, sir. Product quality has a direct impact from the labor. If you need quality excellence, yes, I should appoint appropriate labor in appropriate sections. If considering reducing the cost, I have decided to do cost reductions by giving bit deviation, 5% deviation or 2% deviation. Okay, he can be trained so that I can put him, I can supervise. But that is not practically possible. So at the project itself, we should decide the URS for a labors, the URS for a individual areas operators. If a production man means, you should have some qualifications, experiences, and exposures. Testing like that, all the areas we need to have URS. Accordingly, we have to select. Otherwise, it will result in the end product. See, when you take a cycle time of 72 hours or 4-5 days, a product comes out. That time we found that the product not up to the mark. Then you imagine it will consume one more batch process time, or at least half of the batch manufacturing time. You calculate the cost. How much? Then how I can say quality excellence? How I can claim I am excellence in my cost, my invested cost? How it will become excellent? So we should be very particular in selecting the laborers. Next slide, sir. Raw materials, core for any product. Own technology, I prefer own technology, or it is recommended to have the own technology because the ROS is ours, route of synthesis ours. We can improve, we can modify, which substantiate or which complements the future cost excellence. Then yields, selection of yields. Definitely molecular selection of molecules, starting raw material molecule to the end-use molecule. The molecular weight, based on the molecular weight, if I take 1 gram, 100 gram molecule, 100 gram product, it will end in 130 grams of product. Not all the products, but some of the products, take 1 gram, it will 100 grams, it will end in 80 grams or 70 grams. So here the efficiencies, wherever it depends upon the molecular weight of the particular product. Always the molecular weight is being built up. Molecules are being joined, molecules being combined, molecules are being removed. So then a new molecule will born. So it is a pure chemistry. I will not touch this synthetic chemistry. So the selection of yields should be very, very critical. Each and every process should have a fixed yields, theoretical yields as well as a practical yield. Theoretical means mold ratio basis, we should have the yields. Theoretical practical yield means in the given setup of equipments, activities, controls, what is practically I can achieve a yield. You should be within plus or minus 5% of the theoretical yield, then our cost will excel, our quality will excel. Then use of recoveries and recycling, this also needs to be considered, and details required for this also needs to be invested. Next slide, sir. Inspection testing is very, very important. I don't want to wait. My end products needs to be confirmed whether it meets the specification or not. A pharma industry Not now, at least another 5 years, any pharma industry should have their own laboratory and own testing equipments. As per the drug acts, each and every unit should have their own testing lab. Any specialized equipments, they can have a tie-up with the external lab and they can do that. But in a critical scenario, tie-up with the external laboratory won't work out for us. The time delays, customers will not wait for us. So it is advantageous to have our own laboratory equipments so that it will provide our capabilities to the customers. It will help us to solve the problems, if anything, before supplying the product. So these are the general equipments I listed out. UV visible spectrophotometer, infrared spectrophotometer, which are used for identification of a component, or the product what you have produced is the same product or not. We need not to invent how to identify. Everything given in the pharmacopoeia. If meets the pharmacopoeia, complies. Then gas chromatography, high pressure chromatography. Now all the pharmacopoeias will give the assays and impurities by HPLC or GC only. So unless without having a GC and HPLC, none of the laboratory, none of the pharma industry will run. So we need to invest on these equipments. At how many, at what cost, at what productivity needs to be evaluated by the cost accountant. Then mass spectrophotometers, then ICP-MS, that is intricately coupled plasma. There is residual metals, because all process, I say initial process, we can use MS GLR reactors. If you use acid, there will be a leaching of residual metals. This should not be carried forward. There is no process to remove the residual metals in between the process or on the final purification process. So we need to prove that our material is not having any residual metallic impurities. These are become guidelines in ICHS. When you go for regulatory market, definitely we need to have these. In order to determine the residual impurities, risk analysis we need to do. Not only for this, everything we need to, for any factors, any issues, definitely a quality team will do the risk analysis. Whether risk is controllable or if risk available, how we are going to control it. These are the strategies, plans. Then accordingly we have to move forward. So then NMRs, then thermal scanning colorimeters, particle size analyzers. The particle size analyzer also I would like to link in my earlier slide on the quality definition, the stated and implied needs. All the customers will won't go with the pharmacopoeial specifications. Pharmacopoeia does not reveal the particle sizes. But when I formulate, when I convert into drug product into a drug substance into a drug product, I have my own particle size of the given drug substances. Accordingly, my efficacy of my formulated product will go up, so that my efficiency and the cost, investor cost will go up. So the particle size analysis is mandatory for any pharma industries now. Then stability chambers. I told that life cycle of a drug product or drug substances. So we need to assign in the laboratory, do carry out the different conditions, how the drug molecule behaves, whether it is stable for the given conditions, given packings. So accordingly, we need to give the life of the drugs. Any drugs which comes out from the factory should have the shelf life. You should have the date of birth as well as the date of expiry, or date of manufacturing as well as the date of expiry. Can we extend the date of expiry? No. Once the expired means we cannot extend the shelf life. So alternatively, we can give with retest date. Can we extend the retest? Yes, we can extend the retest. How we can give retest and expiry? If the stability study is in progress, we can release the products with the retest dates by extrapolating the available study data with the conditions stipulated under the ICH guidelines. Then microbial testing is very mandatory. Already told in the equipment sections, we need HVAC systems. The final products needs to be handled under the controlled environment. Controlled environment means the more contaminant, microbial contaminants, viable contaminants is from the atmospheric air. We need to filter the air to bring the microbials under control. Then only the drug needs to be exposed. Because if we formulate, if we manufacture along with the microbial, then our end products quality will change. The efficacy will change. So the end result will change. So microbial testing is also very mandatory. So we should have the microbial laboratory. For the infrastructures, we need to have that. Then clean control laboratory environments, HVAC systems. We'll go on to the next slide. Others is a generic statement. I don't want to discuss much about the cost involved in the others. The team members aware that where the cost is going up, so that needs to be controlled periodically, reviewed. There is definitely we can achieve excellence. Next slide. Now, other important factor I am touching here is cost of quality. How do you define the quality cost? How to link? What is the impact when my quality fails? So, cost of quality is a method of calculating the cost companies incur ensuring that products meet quality standards, as well as the cost of producing goods that fail to meet the quality standards. Both are important. Second one need not say, we need not calculate, but everyone immediately understand when the product fails, what is the impact. But first one, definitely we need to give a lot of inputs to the cost accountants, how for each product, how the cost is being put on there for determining the quality of the products. Cost of quality is to create an understanding how quality impacts on the bottom line. Cost of scrap and rework associated with the poor quality. Next slide. Cost of a good quality versus poor quality. I think we have discussed in detail about this. So generally, the cost of quality is appraisal cost, prevention cost, internal failure, and external failure. The first two costs are complementary cost. The next two costs are we need to prevent it in advance. Next slide. So measurement and inspection activities are called appraisal costs. In order to estimate the given product, the product manufactured is meets the specification or not. So what are the things required for that? That determines the appraisal cost. Next slide. Prevention cost. Activities planned and designed before operations to guarantee the good quality. Product review, quality planning, supplier surveys, process reviews, quality improvement teams, education and training. These are the prevention costs. We ensure that we are cautious that the product should not fail. So that's why I have recommended that I have communicated that quality has to be built into the manufacturing processes. Training needs to be given. Each and everyone should understand the processes, how to control. Next slide. Internal failure cost. This is a cost before the product is supplied into the customer. In the manufacturing process flow, each and every stage is having in-process controls. Each and every stage is having complete analysis. So each and everywhere we need to have checks and balances. If there are any failures, I cannot say it's a failure. Any deviations, I can say here it's a deviations. The deviations can be it requires extended time. The process batch time will extend. So the extended times, the deviations needs to be corrected then and there before finishing it. Then we have to move forward. This is called internal failure cost. Next slide. External failure cost. Definitely, it is a serious concern for the business. Definitely, it is having a very, very severe impact on the our quality excellence as well as the excellence in the cost. Once the material supplied with so many planning, testing, packing, transportation reaches the customer, he will do all the activities. Then they say product not meets the specifications. Coming back, returning, receiving, again verifications, documents, document entries, investigations, holdups, in carrying cost. We can put on so many things. So when we control the quality at the manufacturing itself, there is no work for the external failure cost. The external failure cost should be zero. So that is why we generally the statistical process control come into play in this. Our process capability index needs to be monitored, maintained, reviewed using the quality gurus principles. Next slide. So the cost of quality finally gives us a decision making process, investments in prevention and appraisal cost, how much we need to invest. Then quality has to be built into the product. Already I informed. Testing should be more verification conformances to customer stated and employee needs. Testing is mandatory. We need to certify the product. So the testing is mandatory. Can be achieved by variety of methods such as machine monitoring in the process and its testing. Real-time release. Now the concept as per the ICH team is real-time monitoring. For the if you manufacture sterile product and all, the sterility testing alone after the end of the process, 7 days needs to be incubated. So 14 days needs to be incubated. So we need to hold the product for 14 days. But we have real-time data, so we can take the release of the products. The rest of the activities can be done on the products, so that we can keep it ready for the products. After the 15th day, we should not do any further operations. In the process flow line, it will be completed, kept ready. So that is called a real-time process. Next slide. So now coming to the cost excellence, combining the quality excellence. If you want to achieve the cost excellence, then we need to inbuild quality management systems into the manufacturing process of a pharma. If you want to go for the regulatory market, we need to build the quality management systems into the pharma products, pharma processes, pharma projects, pharma R&D. I will not leave alone any of the activities, any of the processes. All the process needs to be bring under these quality management systems. Next slide. This is as a capacity of chief executive officer of a pharma industry. This I had derived for a particular project. So I'm happy to share these projects with you. So the revenue from an API industry is 10%. The raw material cost should be 45% or lower. The labor cost should be 12% or lower. Equipment cost should be around 8% or lower. Property cost should be 6% or lower. Technology development should be 12% or lower. Other expenditures should be 7% or lower. When it lowers, the first column will increases, or it lowers, that we can manipulate within the other columns, so that you should complement other things, keeping the first column as a standard one. Next. So cost excellence revolves around savings money, resources, improve the quality of a process, product, service of the organizations. Pharma companies usually measure the cost efficiency by comparing it with the output achieved, the revenue earned due to the cost incurred. Next slide. Cost excellence revolves around the saving money. Same slide. Next slide, please. So cost excellence in pharma is achieved by transformed operating models and cultural changes. There are two activities. Maybe I focus mainly on new projects. Of course, the same principles needs to be applied to the existing industries also, converting the viable industry, non-viable industry into a viable industry. So all the principles what we have discussed needs to be addressed along with the costing team, cost accountant team, and we make the project into a viable project by doing the operating models and the cultural changes, which requires also a cost, but definitely which will enhance the excellence on the invested cost, in addition to the cost invested initially. Achieving cost excellence must be a pillar for any business strategies to thrive in this current business environment. Now, I have a personal experience when I started the project in 1990 for the glycol project, propylene glycol project. Yeah, imported technology. We manufactured tons and tons of material. WTO has come into play. We have to compete in the domestic market only at the 50% level of the manufacturing cost. Imagine the selling cost, how much it has come down. Then we have to go for legal fightings, getting anti-dumping, extra, etc., etc. That alone we can sustain? No. Then again review back my process technologies, where we can reduce the cost. Raw material, stop all imported raw materials, indigenize it, do experiments. So if you have our R&D only, we can do this type of work. Then if you have this investment cost, if you have invested in these facilities, infrastructures, then definitely we'll change, will revolve. We can make the invested cost into an excellent one. Next slide, sir. So I come to the final stage of concluding the quality excellence, and the cost excellence. So at an SL pharma industry, cost excellence can be achieved by product quality. The first prime is a product quality, zero returns, zero rejections, zero internal failures. Then adopting quality management system principles. This is very complementary for the point A. Then continual improvement. What is the difference between continuous improvement and continual improvement? Continuous improvement is a straight improvement which will not look back, but whereas a continual improvement follows the plan, do, check, act principles. You plan activities, implement, collect data, analyze, improve. Like a step-by-step improvement. This is a continual improvement. So continual improvement of any pharma industry definitely will excel in cost. All the other good supports, all the other leftover good supports for achieving the cost efficiency. Next slide. Thank you very much. Now we have the question and answers.
Thank you, sir. The first question from Mr. B.K. Unhelkar. So, how a pharma company deals with cost competition with generic drugs and medicines sold through PM Jana Aushadhi scheme?
Definitely, the product which is available, for example, the scheme covers mostly on the chronic diseases, for example, ailments, cardiac, then diabetics. So with medicines, the human life can be extended. So my point is how they are managing. If you take these medicines where it has come from, they work for a minimal cost. They work for the minimal profit because they increase the turnaround and get their margins. Whereas the other products are proprietary. I manufacture from my same plant the API. I convert it into a drug formulation products. It will not be available in the open market, so that the cost is going up. My infrastructure investments are higher, but efficacy remains same.
The next question is on the technology, being a chief technology officer. So they have put the right question. Just wanted to know if it's
very
being
good,
deployed
sir.
in the process.
Very nice. In the I am because this is it is a point being currently discussed in the industries. Even on my own industry, it is being discussed. Why should I have more people? Why should I have more analytical instruments? I feed in all the product characteristics and induce efficacies. Then the manufacturing itself, when I install AI, then definitely automatically the cost will come down. But investment, yes, it is a question mark, because when we take any IT, artificial intelligence, the investment cost will go up. So accordingly, the productivity will go up. So the batch cycle will reduce. So the cost can be balanced. This is what we anticipate from the industries. Anyhow, let us wait and see how the AI plays in a API industry.
The next question, sir. Do the same regulations apply for pharma as well as Nutra?
No, sir. Pharma typically coming under the Drugs Act. Nutra coming under the FSSAI Act. The pharma as well as the Nutra both have the daily intakes, total daily intakes, RDAs. All the GMP requirements remain same, but the regulatory conditions are different. Whereas the Nutra is going to come up in a big way with the FSSAI authorities. Now itself, like the pharma industry, they started their inspections. Now, currently, we are loading all the details, test reports into the portal of FSSAI. Then hygiene, they are mainly looking into this Nutra, so that hygiene reports needs to be uploaded. Hygiene needs to be audited by third party, and we need to submit for our facility. So it will come up in a big way. So maybe after quite some times, it will become merged. Both the systems will require the same systems.
Thank you, sir. So over to TCS Srinivasa Prasad, sir, for the further deliberations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much. I think we have learned a lot of terminology. One is we normally only consume medicine, but today we have actually tried to consume terminologies also. Thank you very much. It must be really useful because you are definitely talking about how the quality is very important and what are all the costs involved with the quality. That was the maximum benefit to our members, in fact. So here also the same thing. Yesterday was I was asking about this. Yesterday speaker was talking about reprocessing and reworking. So these two will definitely increase our cost, as we know. But what you are talking about cost contributing factors, starting from project, land site technology, manufacturing equipment, utility, legal, labor, raw material, testing equipments, this is really an eye opener because cost of production starts right from the project stage when we roll out the products without any problem. So that way, and when you are talked about a process in pharma industry, safety, health, and environment, and inspection and testing also plays a major role. And also, when we were looking at it, own technology and bought out technology. Yesterday, also I was referring this. One of the most important thing that I think India must be doing, because we are not fully aware of the facts. You can throw some light on that. How much of percentage of our revenue in the industry is being allocated for R&D expenses so that the quality will improve along with a reduced cost? So this is one question which I would like to get an response from you. Like you are talked about cost of quality, COQ equal to appraisal plus prevention from plus internal failure plus external failure you are talking. Okay, and you had also talked about what is the preventive, external, and other things. Only thing is, if we are able to replace, like as per the Make in India concept, if we are able to replace with our own R&D styles, and then if you are able to get, yesterday I was giving the Janumetka example, which is sitagliptin 50 and your metformin 500 or 500, which is a very major prescription by many of the doctors. Now Janumet, especially that sitagliptin, I think has come out of that royalty period, so we are able to get the medicines at a very, very lesser rate. And also the quality of Pradhan Mantri Aushad Kendra also is able to give, because I am using it for a very long time, maybe close to 3-4 hours without any issue. And the number second question is, as far as the cost of treatment, though it is not under the pharmaceutical, but it is an allied industry for the healthcare industry, when we will be doing a program, how far do we have a regulation uh, requesting or demanding doctors should only write generic medicine and not the branded medicine? So two questions were there on the R&D, and whether the pharmaceutical industry is such big that they are able to overthrow the government's directive in ensuring the doctors do not prescribe generic. So I know that the second question is directly hitting your industry, but as a common man, I would like to have this answer, because this involves the cost of treatment for the patient, because we will be doing a program on healthcare industry. Thank you, Ravikumar sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Maybe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening session.
Ma'am, sir is yet to
Ma'am,
answer, ma'am.
Mr. Ravikumar will answer me.
Will
Okay,
answer.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I believe he will.
To the question number one,
Yeah.
I actually a lot of areas I need to cover. So maybe we have individual sections when opportunity comes for your society, I can deliver so that my expertise can be transferred into the young
Oh, yes.
society.
Thank
So
you.
each and individual activities, what is a project? Let us have session for projects, individual projects. Then what is a process? What is a technology? What is how to design a project? what are the factors involving for delaying the project or speeding up the projects. We can have separate. Definitely, I also work parallelly. I worked parallelly with the cost accountants, because without cost accountants, I cannot approach the investors. Without the cost accountant, I cannot go approach the management. So I will be considered as a technical person.
Okay.
Cost manipulations, cost projections will be comes through the cost accountant. So we have close relations with the cost accountant. So I would like to transfer my inputs into the future cost accountants. When they come for the pharma industry, they can quickly understand, then quickly they can deliver, then they can work for the benefits of the organization as well as for the society.
Thank you.
Now, coming back to your
Only thing is that R&D expenditure as a percentage, is there any industry norm standard?
Yes, sir. I am coming back to your question. Question number 1. Generally, sir, 10 to 12% is the standard practice we adopt in the new projects, sir, new product development, sir. But sometimes it may vary, sir, if the projects gets delayed. For example, the selection of the projects, how to select a project is a big topic. If you say R&D, then expenditure, okay, investment, I can clearly says that 6 to 7%. The other cost, when they will deliver the product, when the technology can be transferred to the main plant, that time is very critical. So 10 to 12% generally it will be work out. So before selecting the product, we should be very careful. The selling price, what is the price the drug products is being sold? Is it a new product, or it is already a product is available in the market? So already told it is available in the domain. We need to work out our own processes. So how quick, how short, because chemical conversion, we need to play with the molecules. So additions, deletions, catalysts. So cost effective catalysts, solvents. Mostly the current scenario is green chemistry. We follow green chemistry at the processes. Try to use water maximum, or minimize the water, or minimize the solvents. So because the solvent we use, recovery, recycling will go into that. So the R&D cost generally will be 12% will be the appropriate one, sir.
And the second one, is there any government regulation for prescribing generic names instead of branded names?
There is no such regulations available, sir, because if you the scheme is it's a good scheme for the benefit of all individuals who is starving for spending money on the medicine, sir.
Yeah.
As you said, you also consume. I also do consume the medicines from these Pradhan Mantri schemes, sir. But that's why I able to compare the cost of each and individual products. If you buy a blood pressure tablet, if you buy in the market, a tablet costs about 40 rupees. The same product, when you go, the same product, same content, of course, the manufacturing company is different. The manufacturing location is different. So it is available for 2 rupees, 1 rupee 50 paise. I'm very much astonished. Daily, I also ask so many questions. I went to the websites of the company. I will look into the systems, procedures, equipments available, how they are, everything is available, sir. So I am confident that definitely there is a possibility when we increase the mass productivity, definitely we can achieve this. So we may insist, we may appeal to the authorities to prescribe the medicines. But it's an industry lobby. They have their own setups, own backers, political influences. So that we do not know, as a working technical people, we do not know that lobby and all. So anyhow, we make our efforts to represent to the government to prescribe for these type of medicines for the benefit of the society.
Thank you, sir. Because very big companies are also in this Pradhan Mantri Yojana, like Cipla, and everybody is there. They are producing a cheaper medicine. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Over to the organizers.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable session. It's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for this valuable session on quality and cost excellence on pharma. First of all, I thank the President, Vice President, and CMA Council member, Shri Srinivasa Bhatat, sir, and cost accountant, Rakesh, sir, and I also thank the guest speakers of today's session. My sincere thanks to the management, principal and vice principal of Sri Shankarlal, Sundarbai, Shasun, Jain College for Women for collaborating with ICMAI to organize the 5-day Industry Connect program. A very big thanks to all the participants. And I request you all to fill in the feedback link and join us for tomorrow's session on cost governance in pharma. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thanks to everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.